Hi everyone. I hope that you remember I run Riding Tiger with Arijit as a podcast. And in my podcast, usually I bring eminent personalities. But then I felt that I should start something completely new as a vertical. A story about us, companies, entrepreneurs who are mainly into deep tech. And as a serial entrepreneur, when I started, it was 1998 and I was just passed out of class 12. That's an interesting story that I have to tell all of you. But today, this is not the story of my life. Rather, I'll be sharing you a bit of details about how, as a game development company, we use multiple number of devices. And when I'm talking about devices, I'm talking about Microsoft Mobile, which is not there anymore, but then you can understand as a development partner, we had the pleasure of having these kind of phones on those days, long back, as an early level access. And we used to develop on the top of these kind of devices. Not only that, I'm going to show you the surface on the top of which we started developing multiple number of games. And definitely, it was on the top of operating system from Microsoft. This phone itself, along with Lumia, which I will share maybe later on, we started developing games on Microsoft Mobile on the top of, again, operating system, which is Microsoft OS. I'm sure that many of you are using Windows as an operating system. Please remember, when you feel that a game is available in the App Store for free, understand the amount of money that we invest just to check each and every devices. On those days, and when I'm talking about those days, I'm talking about 2007, 2008, when we entered into the mobile phone application development as well as mobile phone game development. Early to that, 1998, my life was more on PC, applications on PC, game development on PC, and definitely running the entire academy with around 5,000 plus students. Let me come back to the device part. So when I'm talking about device and game development, this is one segment which we worked on, and then we started developing things on Android. This is one of the Samsung mobile on which we started developing Android applications and Android games.
Yeah! Not yet!
And if you understand, that time in 2008-9, those period, developing games on the top of Android was not that easy. And 2010, 2011, it was a boom for Android application and game development. So let me share you another device, which is a Samsung tablet. I'm not sure how many of you have seen these tablet. We used to develop on the top of this as well. So it used to be testing device for us. So we had to buy all these kind of devices. Please understand, the price margin that time was pretty high. So we had to buy it on market value, right? Nobody was giving us devices for free. Then we hopped into another market, which is Xiaomi. When Xiaomi launched in the market, this was the early level mobile which we brought and started developing on the top of it. So not only on Android OS, which is definitely on Samsung, or if you look at Google, we started developing on the Chinese segment as well. So this OS is different, little bit of different than a normal, ordinary, usual Android OS. And I'm talking about ARM64, that era. When it came, we had to shift from these kind of devices to such kind of Xiaomi mobiles, which practically give us access to multiple number of another layer of development, wherein we have to have a development team who does not only development but design, testing, networking, database connectivity, plus on the top of it the testing part. So each and everything was not that easy. Layers of number of employee base that we have to take when we create a game, when we create a digital twin, and in today's time, in 2026, when we entered into vertical of developing smart cities, digital twin, virtual reality, augmented reality, differently on blockchain. So we did a lot of various different kind of application development. And please understand, when I'm talking about these kind of development, I am more talking about artificial intelligence embedded when we are developing such kind of games in it. So I'm talking about the era of year 2000 when we started developing games with a very basic level of artificial intelligence algorithm. And for your kind information, AI is not new. What you are using at the moment is more of the AI tools that you guys are using. So I'm so sorry about this statement of mine, but then an AI tool user is not an AI expert. I'm so sorry, but then that's a real hardcore fact. So is game development only about devices, Android, Microsoft, and of course on Apple? Well, no, it goes beyond that. So what we did, we started taking real actors, models, actresses, and upcoming models to become a character as a superhero in our game. We released India's first superhero based RPG game called Ashitama the Immortal in the year of 2007 in mobile, 2008 in mobile segment, that era if I'm not wrong, and probably it went to the Android App Store in the year of 2010 2009, in between that time. Prior to that, it was in another layer, another operating system, and definitely in PC as well. We never ever touched upon PlayStations for that game for a couple of reasons, but then definitely that's a history and milestone which was created directly from West Bengal and the city called Calcutta. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am a Bengali. I'm here from City of Joy, Calcutta itself, completely bootstrapped. Started my life with 49 rupees in my pocket, but then definitely moved the ladder a little bit up higher and then started working in a complete different vertical altogether. While making the superhero characters, I launched West Bengal's first cosplay show in ITC Sonar. That year was, I think, 2016, if my memory goes right, when we launched a cosplay show completely new for the market with another organization, and then it was a massive mega eye-catching event that time. And when I'm talking about such kind of characterization, such kind of creating superheroes, let me show you something which is one of the monetization method in game development. We started producing such kind of mobile covers for multiple different kind of devices. This is one of our character which we developed, and this is one of the model which exists in India market. So we took him, recorded and took snaps of that particular fella in a studio, which is a green chroma screen studio that time, and then eventually created the entire character. And that character embedded on not only the mobile cover, but then definitely it is on the cap, t-shirts, and multiple different kind of other things that we started connecting with. And hence 2017 was the year when we did our second cosplay show, and then along with that we launched a portal called cosplayseller.com. I was too early for the market that time for India. So India, I couldn't do much, to be very honest, but then in Southeast Asia it became a big hit. So if you look at cosplayseller.com at the moment, you will find out multiple number of cosplay shows that we do. We create branding for other brands. We make a lot of energetic content. Multiple number of actors and celebrities became cosplayer, and that's not that easy. We did that in several different Asian countries, several different Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and that's a heartthrob for all these kind of characterizations. So with this note, let me tell you something. When you download any kind of game made from India, from any of the indie developers, any of the companies, please understand they are doing a lot to make one game so that you can be happy. And game is not made for only entertainment. We make simulation games, we make intellectually improvised game, we create games through which your IQ level becomes higher and higher. So there are multiple number of applications of game development. So let me know in the next topic, what do you want to hear. We have a huge vast of technological implementation that we have done so far. I'm sure that you have already heard about our dirty water to clean water solution, which you have seen in YouTube, and I'm sure that you have seen that in other social media as well, including LinkedIn. So feel free to ping me, feel free to say that what innovation you would love to see. And please understand, when I'm talking about innovation, these games or applications or the processor level coding that we did are completely on the top of these kind of devices. So we are looking for hardware partners who can probably be a hardware partner with us. We have created another application which is a kind of music player for artificial intelligence generated music songs, and you can do a lot on that. It is not just a player. You can create a room, you can create a vibe, you can go for posting, you can talk to another gentleman whether he loves the same kind of vibe or not. It can go with democratic way or it can go for an autocratic way. Interesting application that we have created, and the best part is it is done by a just 18 years old guy. So the application name is tuneamigo.com. Feel free to check tuneamigo.com. It's completely India made by an Indian for Bharatiya. Thank you so much. Namaskar, Vanakkam. Stay tuned and keep loving me. Thank you so much.
Easy now. Stay calm. All right, let's walk.